Just for the record, there was the longest time when I was a fan of Sam Harris, when I was going through an agnostic, even atheist period. Right now, I'm not necessarily religious, but I'm not part of that atheist group. But, I could see the logic of Sam Harris's arguments. And to this day, when it comes to things like free will, when it comes to a harm reductionist worldview, when it comes to just, making life better for everyone, the idea of that, because of course he doesn't actually apply that to reality, as we can see, it's quite clearly when it comes to the foreign policy of ideologies of his beliefs, when it comes to wars, when he's full throttle gung-ho when it comes to interventions in countries around the world. He's pro-genocide, it seems. He's pro-war crimes, and this stems from it. It stems from a racial supremacist worldview. Now, a lot of people may have known about Dave Rubin, another guy who left the Young Turks, and the reason why, he was very much a kind of a milquetoast liberal. The main reason why he defected from the Young Turks was because of this disagreement with regards to his loyalty to Israel. Now, both Dave Rubin and Sam Harris have Jewish backgrounds, or rather, one or two parents are Jewish. And now that doesn't necessarily mean that therefore you are a race supremacist, obviously, because a lot of my heroes, they are Jewish, but, and it's not because they're Jewish, but because they happen to be Jewish. For me, it's about the logic of an argument. It's about moral clarity rather than moralism. Rather than appealing to the aesthetics of an argument, appealing to the vibes of an argument, I'm more interested in the facts of an argument. And Sam Harris, if, looking at the fact that he is quite a logical fella, I can relate to that. He is, however, illogical, inconsistent with his argumentation when it comes to defending Israel. As you can see from this video.
Anti-Semitism. I think that really is the thing that's giving it top spin for so many people. The fact that you have all of these people focused on this conflict, of all the world's conflicts, they're focused on this conflict on an hourly basis. Where are all the protests about what the Russians are doing in Ukraine?
Now, Sam Harris must understand that Israel is being not only offended by the US when it comes to its rhetoric, but the US is providing billions upon billions of dollars of weapons infrastructure, weapons, armaments. Whenever Israel is low on ammo, the US is there to support them. So this is a complete complicity with this genocide. The fact that he can't make a distinction between the protest against Israel and its war of genocide and the conflict, which is basically, obviously, Ukraine and Russia are at it like two teams against each other, whereas Israel is basically bombarding the entire, the landscape of Gaza. And this is confirmed by the rhetoric that is used by officials in Israel, all the way to everyday interactions of the IOF soldiers when they're recording these viral TikToks whereby they are just dehumanizing the everyday Palestinians. All the way to doctors, these neutral doctors in Gaza who are testifying with regards to the gunshot wounds in children. This sniper precision attacks on children, which is part of a much bigger, of course, whenever you see these, deeply dehumanizing and deeply disgusting, morally disgusting actions, they're all part of this much larger ploy, much larger scheme, of course, to ethnically cleanse Gaza, to ensure that Israel is protected and is protected for its specific ethnicity group in question, which essentially, again, when you look at Third Reich, when you look at World War II, the worst atrocities when it comes to Nazis were done under much larger umbrella of protecting the German people. Just look at Hitler's rhetoric when it comes to defending the German people it's all about self-defense, and also it's about self-victimization. Of course, wherever you see fascists rise, you always see a sense of self-victimization and a need for security. And in that need for security, you can do the most unthinkable things. Sam Harris defends that because, of course, quite clearly, he's got connection to Israel. And this is what one can only summarize based on the fact that he does have logical processing. He does have ability to ascertain different facts, but he somehow ignores the bigger picture point of view, which is at odds with the rest of his work. Irrespective of whether you disagree with his logic, he is very much a pure logical fella, but he can't disregard the fact that Israel and Netanyahu talking about the Palestinians like they're the tribe of Amalek, which in the Old Testament is referred to as a tribe which was genocided. Every man, woman, child, even animal was killed, and it's being referenced in the war against Gaza. It's logical to assume that anyone who's who's affirmative with this action is only genocidal, and therefore one can surmise that Sam Harris is a genocidal, and by default he's a racist. I didn't agree with the disagreement on Ben Maher's show when you had Ben Affleck, saying, any criticism of Islam is Islamophobic. For me, is the characterization of Palestinians as if they are all of a part of a monolith of terrorism, a monolith of terrorists. And therefore, it's okay to just kill everyone instead of actually giving every individual a fair trial, and also making this argument of human shields, which is essentially a racist argument that is used to do anything, even ignoring the intentional targeting of children, because you can just look at the March of Return in 2018 when Palestinians peacefully protested, where there was no chance of Palestinians, especially Palestinian children from like 100 to 300 meters away, had no violent impulse towards Israelis. Still, they were killed in their tens, and altogether, something like up to 200 people were killed in that protest. So quite clearly, there is a dehumanizing aspect to the entire project of those who defend Israel. You can see this from Destiny, who was a former Twitch streamer, who essentially says things like, I hate Arabs. I'm not a Zionist. I'm not pro-Israel. I just hate Arabs. Or, there should be a genocide, even prior to learning about the issue of Palestine. So quite clearly, Sam Harris and Destiny are in the same ballpark. They're both racist, racial supremacists. And I would say that Sam Harris is more psychopathic even than Destiny, because he has some background in meditation. He has stress alleviation. So this is his natural state, it seems. One can only surmise that based on his rhetoric and his logic for supporting a genocidal war against Palestinian people, including men, women, children, babies, even animals. Anyways, more on this in future. Please like, comment, and subscribe. That'd be very much appreciated. Thank you.